Check out this video, then I'm going to explain to you how settler colonialism works.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely. Born here.
Okay.
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake in the claim here, okay?
But you're
a little different
But you're
than
a
yours.
descendant of immigrants. Settlers.
I didn't know.
Colonialists.
Yeah,
You don't
colonials.
look, you don't look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites
not.
are Native Americans. What are you
Sorry,
talking about?
You're not.
What do you
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right, so in today's episode, you're going to be reacting to a video where a disillusioned white man was claiming that white people are natives to America, yeah? But in today's episode, you're going to be reacting to the reaction of Americans who are clapping back at this statement. And let's just say this statement backfired on this white guy's face badly, yeah?
Right. So that being said, guys, you can let us know what you think about this conversation on the comment section, and also consider subscribing to our channel if you have not yet already. We are on the road to 200,000 subscribers. So let's watch and then you come back and talk about it.
It's about tribal warfare.
Okay.
That's where we're at in the U.S. I don't know where you're at in the UK. You're from India, so I don't really...
I'm not from India.
Oh, sorry, your parents are from India, so...
I'm an American
you have
citizen.
your own stakes.
I'm an American, you know.
You're an American citizen?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know how you got that, but fair enough. Here's the thing.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
Not sure how you got that. Okay.
Born here.
Okay.
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake in the claim here, okay?
But you're
a little different
But you're
than
a
yours.
descendant of immigrants. Settlers.
I didn't know.
Colonialists.
Yeah,
You don't
colonials.
look, you don't
yeah.
look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites
not.
are Native Americans. What are you
Sorry,
talking about?
you're not.
What are you talking about?
You're
Whites
not.
are Native Americans.
Really?
I think
What was
you're-
happening before the 1500s?
I think you're getting confused with it.
I don't mind going on a tangent, but what was happening before the 1500s?
Calm down. I think you're getting...
What was happening before the 1500s?
There was indigenous people here that came here from
Do you know
Asia.
what indigenous means?
Listen, before
Indigenous
America,
people
Let-
can't
you
come
let
from
me
somewhere
finish?
else.
Why do you ask a question if you're going to interrupt?
I'm not sure if you know what the meaning of indigenous means.
I do know what it means. It
Doesn't
means
sound
they
like it.
came here first, right? They came here from Asia by way of land bridge. Have an argument with Neil deGrasse Tyson or anybody else about that. I don't care.
Is he an American?
I genuinely don't care. Yes, he is.
Okay, just
so
checking.
My point is, okay?
Nothing to do with crime. So far, you've agreed with me that these
Because
people are
you're
criminals.
derailing, dude. I'm trying
You
to stay on
literally
track.
sat down and asked me where I'm from. I think you derailed this conversation from the get-go.
by that, but I'm because
I'm not
I'm always
offended. I'm
curious,
just wondering what it
because
has to do with
I'm
crime.
always curious.
We're going to talk about
why-
immigration. Don't worry. Later on, you can come back.
I hope so.
Right now, you're doing a very bad job of making the case that he's not pro-crime
I just
and
got a
pro-criminal.
round of applause. I could probably get another one actually if I asked for it.
Wow.
So I don't think I'm doing
Is this how
as
you
bad.
get rounds of applause? You sit in a room with 20 people who agree with you. Wow, amazing. Amazing. That
Well,
must
wait
make you
till
feel
this
good.
This idea that white folks are Native Americans now is not simply ignorance, it's the logic of settler colonialism. Settlers invade, they steal the land, and they replace the indigenous population. Settler colonialism isn't simply about conquest and stealing the land, though. It's a structure of replacement. The first step, invasion. Conquest, genocide of indigenous peoples. Step 2, reset the timeline. Pretend history only begins when settlers arrive in 1492. That means downplaying all the achievements, all the accomplishments of indigenous peoples. You stereotype and label us as uncivilized savages. Step 3, the colonizers now rebrand themselves as natives. And a lot of white folks have brainwashed themselves into believing the big lie, that they settled an empty and uncivilized land and built America from nothing. It's the myth of Western superiority and American exceptionalism. And it's not just about stealing land and resources, it's also about stealing the identity, what it means to be a real American. And this is nothing new. Settlers or nativists have been calling themselves Native Americans for nearly 200 years now. And that's the trick. You destroy indigenous sovereignty, and then you get to redefine who's truly American, who's Native. It's white nationalism. It centers whiteness as the rightful owners of Turtle Island. The end goal is always to invert reality. The settler, the colonizer becomes indigenous, and land theft and genocide becomes heritage. But here's what the logic of settler colonialism tries to hide. Indigenous nations are still here. All the settler colonial policies meant to destroy and erase indigenous nations have failed. Native peoples are revitalizing their languages, protecting their sacred sites, defending their treaty rights, practicing their culture, just like they've done since time immemorial. And let's have a little bit of clarity. White folks can be from America, be born here in America, but you will never be indigenous to this land. And let me end with this. Indigenous peoples are still here, and we're not going anywhere.
A man on Jubilee really said on camera that white people are native to America. White people are native to America. The level of historical illiteracy in that sentence alone is truly shocking. I didn't realize 1492 was the dawn of time. Like, what? What?
This is the same reason why history is very important. Because you think America, or this guy thinks America is one country. But let me tell you something. In 1513 is when Americus Vespucius, it was an Italian geographer, I don't know what he was, but his name was Americus Vespucius. He is the one who brought the theory that this was not India, but another continent. So once they kind of proved it, I think it was by 1515, they decided that they were going to call the entire land America after him. In 1515, there was no one except for the Native Americans and what today is United States. It was not into 1620s when the first pilgrims arrived in what today is Plymouth, Massachusetts. So it took 100 years for the first white pilgrims to arrive in what today is United States.
Imagine being in a room where someone says that white people are Native Americans and then everyone in that room cheering and clapping.
It's about tribal warfare. Okay. That's where we're at in the U.S. I don't know where you're at in the UK. You're from India, so I don't really...
I'm not from India.
Oh, sorry, your parents are from India, so...
I'm an American citizen.
You have your own states.
I'm an American, you know.
You're an American citizen?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know how you got that, but fair enough. Here's the thing.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely. Okay. But here's the thing.
Not sure how you got that, but okay.
Born here.
Okay.
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake in the claim here, okay?
But you're,
a little different
but you're a descendant of immigrants. Settlers.
I didn't know.
Colonialists.
Yeah,
you don't
colonialists.
Look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you talking about?
You're not.
What are you talking about? Whites are Native Americans.
Really?
I think
what was happening before the 1500s?
I think you're getting confused with it.
What? That's exactly what happened. On the Jubilee video, one progressive surrounded by 20 far-right conservatives, and I am drained from watching the first 10 minutes of this video. But this clip is so insane that they really believe that white people are like, how do we go anywhere from here? I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. It's just so insane that their ancestors committed genocide on Native Americans. And now they're claiming to be Native American. Like, bro, help.
Right, so before I lose my mind, we all collectively agree that white Americans, people of European descent, are not Native Americans, right? I can't believe I'm having to explain this, but the term Native American is specifically for the indigenous people before European colonialism. The erasure of that identity traces back hundreds and hundreds of years. Some examples include boarding schools where they were forced to assimilate by colonial standards, and today you'll see street cars, helicopters being named after each tribe so that they're not associated with the people anymore. So just let them have this one.
So the latest Jubilee episode with Mehdi Hassan has FWA on it. What's FWA, you might ask? Oh, Foundational White Americans. That's not what they call themselves, but that's basically what they are. And I think that the FBA crowd should maybe take a look and watch that so that they can realize that that's who they sound like whenever they start saying that bullshit. Like, that's your counterparts. Those are your allies. Like, I'm just letting you know, because they are also like, well, my family was in America since the 1500s. We are Native Americans. Yeah, so anyway, land back.
So guys, welcome back. You know, this episode kind of reminded me of an episode we did earlier this month or during this month where ChatGTP was asked where white Americans came from, and ChatGTP was quite descriptive, right? And he said that, or it said that they came from the Caucasus Mountains, and he further went on to say that white people are known for going to a certain place, claiming to settle and integrating with the community, only for them to start stealing that community's culture and squeezing them out of that society. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you're interested in watching that episode, please just go and look for it. It's somewhere on our episodes, recent episodes, right? So this episode kind of reminded me of that episode.
Right.
And my thing is, how do white Americans or how do European Americans truly believe that they really truly only own America and nobody else owns America?
Yeah, you know, yeah, okay, for some reason, these white people move to places, they create laws. Well, okay, when they're moving there, they move there with ease. They find no laws that restrict them. Even to date, in Africa, it's easier for white people to come into Africa, places like Kenya, South Africa, where, than it is for other black people to travel there, you know. So they come into these said lands, they don't find laws that restrict their movement here. Only after they've settled and they've gained the number they need to, now they start writing up laws and they start restricting movements of other groups here. And this is basically what happened in America, yeah?
Right, and the same thing is also happening in South Africa, or rather, South Africa is also experiencing the same problem when it comes to European immigrants going to settle there and calling themselves settlers or experts. You know,
A good case, Phil Craig.
a good case is a European South African calling himself Phil Craig.
Are you
And for
surprised that
those
it's a European?
furthermore, he is a British national by birth, yeah? So you can just go and Google who this character is. This character wanted to slice up South Africa, and it wasn't that long ago, right?
Just last year.
And no, I think it was 2020s thereabout, in 2020 or 2021, but I'm not sure when exactly. He wanted South Africa to be sliced up, and that is because he wanted his own kind of people to take charge of a place called the Western Cape, yeah? So he wanted black people of South Africans to be restricted from going to that area, right? And also, as you can see, South Africa, we've also done an episode on this. White South Africa truly believes they're native to that land, and that the Bantus, the black Bantus of South Africa, were the ones who immigrated to South Africa, right? And hence, they were saying that they had more claim to the land than the black Bantus of South Africa. And are you even surprised that their cousins over in America are doing the same thing in the United States?
They, like, everywhere they go, they will change the laws, they will change the history, they will rewrite the history if they need to,
in order for it to suit them.
Right. Personally, I was surprised that other than the Phil Craig character, there was an old, okay, you being old, I'd expect you to know better,
to be wiser.
But I feel like wisdom does not come with age or in place of greed, yeah? Because this is just being greedy. How can you claim to be the true owners of a land in Africa where historically, majority of melanated people were located? And then another question, if you claim that white people are more, you know, entitled to South Africa compared to the Bantus, we ask ourselves one question, right? When you're looking at the migration of the Bantus, with what means did they use to migrate from one place to another? And then we ask ourselves, just hold that thought, we ask ourselves, these so-called white South Africans, with what means did they migrate to get to South Africa? Who needed to cross a whole entire body of water to get to that place? And then we get our answer from that.
Yeah, and another interesting question from what you've said is, for those white South Africans who usually claim the Bantu migration was started from the north going downwards. Before white settlement, and this is a very open research that you can do. Before white settlers came, white immigrants, I'm getting used to calling them immigrants. Before white immigrants came to Africa to slice up the continent, the continent was one big piece of land that Africans used to, migrate to any country and do trade with each other, right? So it wasn't it wasn't of different countries. It was just one big mass of land until these white people who came, white people who came to Africa and began slicing up because of their greed. They went to the Berlin conference, sat down, and without even a single African, put boundaries and borders and said that South Africa was South Africa and what part belonged to who. And that is why they think that the Bantus who migrated to South Africa didn't belong in South Africa.
Right. And also, guys, personally, what I have to ask is, what are Native Americans saying about this? Because it is a fact that Native Americans exist. We do know that they exist, only that their voice has been so much
underrepresented, especially on the world stage. You might be forgiven for not knowing how they look like, but they're certainly not white.
Right. So what are the Native Americans saying about this? Do we have any Native American in a leadership position? Although I would imagine that even if there were a few, they wouldn't still talk about these matters because, as I say, their voices have been so much suppressed. Another thing, how do they feel when they hear white Americans right now starting to talk about white people being the true natives of America? Because it only begins with a mention here and there, and then the idea,
false articles start being written here and there, and then before you know it, the whole history has completely been distorted.
I don't know what to say about this, but we are definitely watching, and this is why we say it's important to pass down history, because a thief will never come and tell you the truth. They will always tell lies and cover up with more lies in order to favor their story, right?
And before you know it, they've stolen the very essence of what belongs to you, and made it to look like it's theirs.
Right. I'm not going to touch on so much on what the Black American sister was talking about when she was comparing the foundational white Americans and the foundational Black Americans. And in her own opinion, she was saying that foundational Black Americans who, they normally are called pretendians, right?
No, there is a difference between foundational Black Americans and pretendians.
There is. Guys, let me know. I get confusing.
Very
but the
confusing.
sister was comparing the two, foundational Blacks and foundational whites, and she was saying that is how the way that white man was sounding in the Jubilee interview. She was comparing that white man to foundational Black Americans who claim the same claims with that. I don't know, guys. What is your opinion? Here is where
when I said there's a difference between FBS and pretendians, I came to understand from TikTok's teachers that pretendians are Black Americans who pretend to be Indians.
Guys, this one you're going to be leaving in your hands.
For you to clarify that bit for us, right?
Let us know your opinion on that and what the sister said. Do you agree with her? Do you not agree with her? Whatever answer, let us know.
Yeah, and what do you think in general about this whole episode, right? Because one thing I do know for sure is that white people were not natives to anywhere but some parts in Europe, right? So guys, let us know what you think about this episode. Also consider subscribing if you're new to our channel, and we'll see you on our next episode.